Hello everyone, welcome to this session of web scraping using Python. In today's example, we are going to take a look how to web scrape Flipkart application. So this is a site we are going to web scrape. So let me go and refresh it. So this is the Flipkart site that we are going to do a web scraping, and we're going to use Python, and we will use Beautiful Soup to extract the content of this web page. Now, how the output will look like is something this. Okay, so we'll have the model name, the price, and the specification. So we go back to the browser. We know this is the device name. This is the price, and these are the specifications, which has got the camera, the display, the processor, and the RAM, and the processor name and all those things. So we go back to the Excel sheet. It has got pretty much the same stuff. It has got the model name, the model price, and all the specification. So this is what we are going to see as an output once we finish the demo. Okay, now let's go back to the PyCharm and let's see how to start writing to generate or to extract the data from the website. So first thing first, let's try to see what we are importing. So we're using the request URL from Python. We are using Beautiful Soup and we're using pandas to generate a data frame, and then we will export this data frame into CSV file. And this is the link of the Flipkart website. So we go back to the browser. This is the same link. I have copied it here. So this is the link of the Flipkart application or the website that lists all the phones or the latest phones. And we're going to do web scraping for this particular link or for this particular Flipkart site. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm just requesting this URL and I'm getting, so this is my client, I'm requesting this URL, and the second line, I'm reading the content of this URL. So what I'm doing over here, I'm issuing a command or issuing a request command to this link. And once I have done that, I'm just reading the entire content of that particular web page. So what it does, it downloads the page and then it reads the page. The next thing what I'm doing over here is I'm just converting the text part into a HTML part. So there are a lot of different parsers. You can have an LXML parser, you can have an XML parser. So my preference is always an HTML parser because you can find the div tag, the li tags, you can find different tags, you can find the content out of it. So coming back to the line again, so we are getting the page and then we are converting the content into an HTML page. So if I go and uncomment this and run this application, scroll down and comment this both part. So once I have done that, so what I'm doing basically is we can see the entire text or the HTML page getting generated in our Python console. So you can see here, this is the entire HTML page of the given site. Okay, now let's go back. All right, so what next I'm doing? The next thing I'm doing is I'm finding all the div tag that has got this class name. So let's go back to the browser and let's press F12. Let's scroll this down. Okay, let's go back here. All right, scroll up. Okay, so now you can see, let me just go and do a border, 2 pixel solid red. Okay, now this is the class. Okay, and what I'm doing in this class, I'm giving a border of 2 pixel red. So let me scroll down, and now you can see that we have selected each container that has got the entire details of the handset. You can see the red border. Okay, now what does this means that each of this section or this each of these div, they have the same class name, because what we have done, we have given CSS border 2 pixel for this class name. Okay, so this is the class name. Now if you see the left hand side of the inspector element console, you see I'm just highlighting over each of those div tag. Now each of those div tag is your each handset. All right, so I hope I have made it very clear. When I'm doing a border of 2 pixel solid red, it takes each div element or each handset with the border surrounded with 2 pixel red, which you can see in the screen. Let's go back to the PyCharm code. So what it gives me is a list of all the handset. Okay, these are the list of all the handset I'm going to get once I execute that piece of line. Okay, let's go and comment this part and let's quickly go and run and see. What I'm going to do is going to find the number of item present in that list. So let's go and run again, e-commerce scrap. So now we can see there are 30 elements or 30 items present in that list. So let's go back to the browser. If I start counting them, it will be more or less 30 elements. The one thing that we should make sure we should remember that web scraping also depends on your internet speed, and like mostly depends on internet speed. So it's not always guaranteed the way you are seeing the list in the website will be the same way you might be getting in your console when you start printing those elements. But anyway, let's go back to the code now and let me scroll it down. So what I'm doing in the next line, in the line number 18, is I'm just initializing the data frame with the column name, the model name, the price, and the specification. So scroll up again here. So this is going to be a model name. These are the specification for this model, and this is the price part. Okay, you can see the cursor I'm highlighting to. This part is the price. This part is your model name, and this entire set is your specifications. Okay. All right. Now what I'm doing next. So I'm just iterating over my list. So each of this item is my each handset because this is a list of handset and this is each item. So I'm just iterating over each handset. So let's go back to the browser. So I'm just iterating over each handset. And what I'm doing is I'm just running this basic command to check if the item is not none. So what does that means is this is the, so we'll see later down the line what this class means. So let's comment this part for now, or let's let it remain like this. So what I'm doing now is I'm using this model name and I'm doing this part. So what I'm doing, I'm finding the div tag that has got this class name and I'm trying to extract the content out of it. So let's go back to the browser and let me scroll it up. It takes the inspector element and put it over here. And let me scroll this up also. So now this is the div class name for the content of the model. So let me go and give a border here. Let me make it 1 pixel. Let me make it 2 pixel. Solid blue will be fine. Oops, 2 pixel. Okay. Now what I have done, I've highlighted all the model name that has got this class. And let's scroll down and see. You see all those blue highlighted area is your model name. All this blue highlighted area is your model name. So what I have done is I have given a border for this particular class name. So this particular class name is your model name where we are writing the model name. So now if I go back to the code, what I have done, the model name is your find also for that item, for the given item, find the div which has got this class and generate the text or extract the text out of it. So let me go back, let me uncomment this and let me do this also. And let's go and run and see if we can generate the model name. Now we can see here in the console, it has printed all each, I mean to say all the model name, all the device name. If we go back to the browser, let me close this for now. So the first one is your Realme C15 with a color of silver. The next one is the same model with color blue. The next one is Realme 6i, and then it goes down the line. So let's go back. So yeah, pretty much we're getting the same output in the console. So we now know how to extract the model name. So this is the way we are going to extract the model name. Similarly, what we are doing, we are finding the price also. So let's go back to the browser and let me press F12 and let me quickly go and hover above the price section. Let me scroll, make it down a bit. Okay, now let's go and see this part and let's give a border for this also. Let's make it 1 pixel. Oh, let's make it 2 pixel. Solid yellow. Yellow does not look so good. Maybe like orange. Okay, fine. So let me scroll down. If you see all the orange segment, I'm not so good with the coloring part, but you can see this all orange section here is your price section. Okay, so that means that all this price has got the same class. Okay, so if you scroll up, this is the class name for the price section. So if I scroll down and inspect this particular class. Select this, go here and scroll up. So now you can see for this is the price name for, and again if I scroll up you can see this is the price. So see the div tag, they both belong to the same class, they both have the same class. Okay, the price section has got the same class. Over here you can see it's underscore 1VC40E. If I go back, if I scroll up, it's the same class. So what I'm doing in the code is I'm finding all the div class. I'm finding that div class for that item that has got the class name this. Okay. And what I have done here is I'm doing a substring from 1 to the end of the string. The reason being is because if you see the price section, the first section or the first index is your rupee symbol, and we don't need that. We just need the numeric value of the price. So what I have done here, I'm just using a substring method of Python, and I'm just taking from the first index to the end of the string. So let's go back and let me go here, and okay, and oops, it still shows me error. Even comma here. All right. So what I'm doing, I'm printing the model name, and then I'm finding the price of that particular model. So this is the div class name. This is the div with this class name. If I go back to the browser, this is the class name. Okay, so let me go again, inspect this. So this is the class name. If I go up and do an edit HTML, you can see it more clearer. So this is the class we are using to find the price. So let's go and run the application again. So now you can see we have got the model name along with the price for each one of them. So if you go back to the browser, let me close this thing, scroll up. This is for 10,999, 10,999, 12,999, and pretty much we have got the same in console. Okay, so we are done with the model name, we are done with the price name. The next one and the last one is your specification. So let's go back to the browser. Again, press F12. Now our concentration on the specification section. Let me just scroll it down. So let's take the inspect element and put it over here. So if you see, this belongs to this UL class, and the UL class has got lot of different li tags, and each of those li tag has got the same class. So see the way I am moving over here, it highlights that particular text in the website. So the first one is your 4 GB RAM. You see, it's getting shaded now. The next one is your display, the next one is your camera, the next one is your battery, the processor, and all those things. So if I go and put a border of, let's see, 3 pixels solid, let's make it back. Okay, now let me close this window. So you can see, oh, it's become so colorful now with red, orange, blue, and black. So now if you see all the black section, it's the specification of the device. If I scroll down and if you see the highlighted black section, it's the specification of the handset. Now what does this means that all the UL tag has got the same class name. Okay, it has got the same class name. Let's go and press F12 and scroll up. Okay, and go back here. Oops, let's go here. Now, how we are supposed to find the specification, E specification. So if you see the li tags, each li tags indicates each specification type, whether it's your display, your RAM, your processor. But the good thing is all the li tags are of the same class type. They have got the same class name. Now, if we go back to the browser, I mean to say go back to the PyCharm, and if you see this line, so what I'm doing, I'm finding all. All means, the way we have done here, find all, is returns you a list. So find all the li tags for that item that has got this class. Now go back to the browser. So this is one item. This is my one item. So find all the li tags. Find all these allies that has got this class. So what it will give me? It will give me a list of li tags with this class. So in short, it's going to give me all these things. So let's go back to the PyCharm and let's print the specification plot. So let's give a comma here. Let's separate by hyphen and let's print the specs and let's see what we are getting. So let's go and run again. Now, once we execute the code, so this is what we're getting in the console. So you see it generated the entire HTML code. So the first li tag is your screen size, and then it's the display basically. Then the next one is your the camera. The next one is your the battery, and then the processor, and I don't know what is the next one. Maybe the accessories and all. So this is for each of those items. So each of those item is getting generated. So for each of those item, we can see the specification in the li tag. Now let's scroll down and let's try and print the first section. Let me do this and let's go and try to extract the first li tag text. Save it, run it again, and let's see the output. Now once we have executed the code, you see the separated with hyphen, the model name, the price, and this is the first specification or the first spec of the device. If I go back to the browser, scroll up, close this up, and you see this is the first specification, this 4 GB RAM, 6 GB ROM expandable. And the same thing we can see in the console. So what we have done, we have taken the index of first element and then printing the text. Now let's go back to the code. So what we are doing in this particular section is we are appending all the specs from 0 to 3 and separate with the pipeline. Okay, so now if we go back and run the entire code, let me comment this and let's go and run. Looks like there is an issue. Okay, with the space tab. Okay, so now what we are doing here in this model specs, we are taking each of those specs element, we're extracting the text, appending with a line separator so that generates a new line. And similarly, we are doing for all the text. So the zeroth index means the first text of the first specification. The first spec means the second specification, the third, the fourth, the five, and so on and so forth. So let's go and run this and let's see what we are getting. So let me do this. Let me just print. Okay, I've already printed the data frame. Let's go and run this application. So once we've executed the code, so this is what we're going to get in the output. So the dot 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 means there are a lot of elements because the console size we can't see all. But what we have done, we have extracted the entire DS. What we are doing, we are exporting the entire data frame into a CSV file. That is your photo list, phone list.csv. So let's go to the folder and so this is my phone list.csv file over here. And if I open the same thing, so what I have done, I'm just converting that as CSV to Excel sheet because it is more, we can like the visibility is more better there. So we open the Excel sheet. So this is what we're going to see. So we're going to see the model name, the price, and all the specification. So basically you can convert that into an Excel sheet also, but we have to use OpenTXTYL. That is a library in Python that converts the data frame into an Excel sheet. But what I have done, I'm converting into CSV and then I'm exporting it into a Excel sheet. So this is what it looks like at the end of the session. It will see the model name, the price, the specification. So that's all pretty much how to do web scraping. The link to the code is given in the description below, along with the sample Excel sheet which we have generated out of this demo. And hope you have enjoyed the video. Thank you for the session.